Mobilement is a cloud-based mobile device management service that allows you to track, monitor, and manage an unlimited number of mobile devices. To start using Mobilement, you need to register a new group. Click on the Sign Up button and type in the desired group name, your email address, and password. Please make sure that you enter a valid email address. To complete the registration, you'll need to click on a confirmation link that we will send to your mailbox. Once you've registered a new group, you'll land on the dashboard. The dashboard has three major panes. The left pane contains a list of profiles. The central pane accommodates a list of devices, policies, filters, and so on. The right pane usually holds different properties related to the current context. The key unit of Mobilement's device management is a profile. Each device belongs to an arbitrary number of profiles. Each profile, in turn, can hold any number of devices. Mobilement has two types of profiles, static profiles and dynamic profiles. When a new group is registered, several static and dynamic profiles are created by default to get you started. You can edit or delete the existing profiles as well as create new profiles. Static profiles are the profiles that the administrator explicitly assigns to the devices. Usually, the administrator creates dedicated profiles for each group of devices that he or she needs to manage. For example, a static profile structure can reflect the structure of your organization. Dynamic profiles cannot be assigned to devices by the administrator. Instead, the administrator defines dynamic profiles as a set of filters. The system assigns these profiles to the devices dynamically based on the properties of each device. For example, the disabled devices profile contains devices in a disabled state. The low battery profile is defined as a set of devices that have battery level less than 10%. The emergency dynamic profile holds devices that have the in emergency status. Similarly, out of geofence dynamic profile is a set of devices that have the out of geofence status. You can also create a profile of Samsung devices or a profile of all devices whose name starts with director, and so on. Enrollment. To enroll a device into your group, you need the enrollment key. Click on any static profile to which you want to enroll your device and click on the Enrollment tab. You can find the profile's enrollment key here. This is an auto-generated enrollment key. You can enter another key here if required. Keep the enrollment key safe, as this is a password that allows users to enroll their devices into your group. Now that you have the enrollment key, take a mobile device that you want to enroll. Install the Mobilement application from Google Play or Apple Store, and then type in your group name and the enrollment key. On Android devices, you need to accept the device administrator permissions. On Apple devices, you need to follow the procedure for installing iOS management profiles on the device. Once your device is enrolled into your group, you'll see it listed on the Devices tab of the profile to which it was enrolled to. If you click on the device, you can view the basic properties in the right pane. You can also assign other static profiles to this device if required. You can see that your device belongs to the Samsung Dynamic Profile because its manufacturer is Samsung. Sometimes the administrator doesn't want to reveal the enrollment key or wants to simplify the enrollment procedure. In this case, it's possible to use QR codes for the enrollment. The QR code contains encrypted information required for enrollment into the profile. The administrator can save the enrollment QR code as an image, print it out, or send it over email. Policies. Once the administrator has set up the organizational structure of the group, he or she can set up the actual policies. A policy is an instruction for the device to perform certain actions, to retain a certain state, or to apply certain restrictions. All policies are applied to the profiles. You can apply policies to both static and dynamic profiles. Each policy has important icons displayed in its toolbar. The information icon gives you a brief description of the policy. Icons to the left of the information icon will list the supported platforms for this policy. For example, the life cycle policy is supported by all Android and iOS devices. However, the certificates policy is supported only by iOS devices and Samsung Android devices having an Android version higher than 4.2. Some policies can be included into the enrollment profile. For example, if you set up a Wi-Fi policy on the sales device's profile and then scan the enrollment QR code of this profile with your Android device, the Android application will first set up a Wi-Fi network on the device, and only after that will it enroll the device onto your group. This way, you can quickly provision new devices into your organization. Let's consider some policies that are available at the moment. Please note that the number of available policies are always increasing as we continue to add more policies. The lifecycle policy allows you to prevent application uninstallation on Android devices. Also, it allows you to change the application type on the devices. You can choose your device administrators, in which case owners of these devices will also be able to track other devices in that group. Data collection policies allow you to necessitate devices to collect different types of data. You'll be able to see the collected data by clicking on Collected Data on the device or the profile that you're interested in. The track location policy enables device location tracking. The administrator will be able to see the complete route taken by the device. The geofence policy allows administrators to make sure the device does not leave the predefined area. The administrator will need to create a geofence first and then use it in the policy. Restriction policies can restrict device usage in certain areas. The application control policy controls installed applications on the device. You can set up a blacklist of unwanted applications that can't be used on the device. On the contrary, a whitelist of applications are the only apps allowed on the devices with that profile. The application usage policy restricts usage of the application by schedule. Select or type in the applications that you want to restrict and then select a schedule for enforcing the restriction. Application access policy is specific to iOS and allows you to block certain applications on Apple devices. Phone calls and text messages policies allow you to set up a blacklist or whitelist of prohibited or permitted numbers, respectively. Browsing policy allows for the restriction of browsing on the device by applying a blacklist or whitelist of domain names. Please note that we recommend using our secure browser called Fire Phoenix for this policy, and thereby prohibit all other browsers. You can prohibit all browsers except for Fire Phoenix by using the application usage policy. Just prohibit all browsers here, and that would do it. The administrator can use the lockdown policy to switch the device into the kiosk mode. You can set up particular actions that the user can perform on the device. All other actions will be blocked. Firstly, you need to choose a template that you want to use. You can use a predefined template or create your own template. Templates are just HTML pages that define the look and feel of what you want to see on your mobile devices. Inside the template, you can add specific macros that will be replaced with the items that you will define later on. In this particular template, the first item defines the title and the background, while the following items define the icons and their actions. After you choose a template, you can define template variables. all other items define the actions available to the user. You can run an application, make a call, or open a web page. The payload here is a parameter of your action. In the case of running an application, the payload is nothing but the application's package name. In the case of making a phone call, it's the phone number, whereas in the case of opening a URL, it's the address of the URL. You can create your own templates and upload your own icons or tiles. Hardware policy allows you to restrict the usage of hardware features on the device, such as camera, Bluetooth, microphone, Wi-Fi, etc. Password policy sets up password requirements on the devices. Certificates policy allows you to install certificates on the devices remotely. Email policy allows you to set up POP3, IMAP, or Exchange accounts on your organization's devices remotely. File sync policy allows you to synchronize your device content with an external source of data, such as an FTP server. Just specify the credentials of the external data source and local device path for the synchronization to happen. Download sync type will make sure that the device has all the files that the external source contains. The upload sync type will make sure that all the device's files from the specified folder will be uploaded to the external source. The emergency alarm policy will enable an emergency alarm button on the profile's devices. When the user clicks on this button, all group administrators will be notified about the emergency. The custom settings policy allows you to change the device state from within the device itself. To illustrate how this policy works, let's add an @work custom setting with the @_work key. Let's also create a new dynamic profile, @work devices, with a filter requiring custom settings to have enabled the @_work key. Let's also enable the phone calls and text messages data collection policies for this profile. If we get onto the device now and click on the Menu button in the Custom Settings page, we'll see the @work switch. When the user turns this switch on, the device will be assigned the @work devices dynamic profile. If we open the Applied Policies pane that contains information about all policies applied to the device and their sources, we'll see that the phone calls and text messages data collection policies are also assigned to the device, with their source being the @work devices dynamic profile. When a new group is registered, a new trial license is assigned to the group. You can see the list of available licenses and buy a new license by clicking on the Licensing button at the bottom. In case you face any issues, have questions, or have any ideas for us, feel free to contact us by clicking the Feedback and Support button. We hope you'll enjoy our service.